Hey guys, welcome back to T Brown Tech. In my last video we learned how to create a simple web page using Notepad. In that video I mentioned that I would use Microsoft Visual Studio Code from here on out. You can download that and use it. Feel free to ask me the plugins that I use in mine if you're interested in the comments below. You can continue to use Notepad or another IDE of your choice. In this video we are going to learn how to link a CSS file to an HTML file and use them together. There are some popular CSS frameworks out there, like Bootstrap or Tailwind. However, in this video we are going to focus on some simple, pure CSS. I feel that getting to know CSS is crucial before jumping into one of the frameworks. Let's get started. Alright, so here I have two files. I've got index.html and style.css. I've created a folder to put these in. You can put those in whatever folder you would like. Index.html, that's standard practice for building websites. That's your main home page of your website typically, and so I'm going to go by standard. We're going to do that. And then style.css is pretty popular for your CSS files to be called style.css, styles.css. You can technically name it anything you want, but I like to stick with that. So we're going to start here by throwing a doc type, throwing some HTML in there. We're going to do a head. Let's see, in here we'll do a title, my CSS page. And then here we're going to do a link, style sheet. And we're going to link a style sheet here, and we're going to link to this style.css. So this is how you link your CSS page. They do have to be in the same folder for it to be able to pull up, so make sure you do have them in the same folder. If you're starting out, one of the easiest things to do is create a folder on the desktop. You can call it my website or my first website or whatever you'd like to call it. That's up to you. But you'll want to have both your index.html and your style.css in the same folder so that they'll read off of each other. Yeah, mostly. Yes. Mostly the CSS will be read by the HTML, but anyway. So here we're going to go, I like to start with a div, nothing special, we'll just do something, let's do an h1 and my first CSS page. Okay, and then we'll do a paragraph. This is my first paragraph styled by CSS. How exciting. I don't know, I get excited. Why not? Okay, and let's see, let's do an h2, another title. Sorry, if I can type today. Here we go. And let's do another paragraph. This is another paragraph for my page. And we won't make this button do anything, but we'll make a button called submit. We'll style the button as well. Let's see, that's that. There's one div, here's another div. Let's, for the sake of things, put a break in there. And this div will be, let's do an h3. This is another section on my web page. There are different ways to do stuff. Again, I'm just keeping things super simple just to kind of show you how we do things. My web page. I like to build web pages. And yeah, we'll leave it there. How about that? Okay, I'm going to save that. That error came up there. Okay. So this is that. Now let's pull up a browser of your choice. It can be any browser that you want. In this case, I'm going to use Google Chrome. I don't have any preferences really. It doesn't matter. Chrome has some good development tools. I test all of mine in a lot of different sites. So we're going to open, oh, I have to select it, there we go. We're going to open with Google Chrome. Okay, so here we can see our cool website, right? My first CSS page. Here was our title up at the top. Here's our H1 header. Let's see what we do here if we get these two so you can see them side by side. Maybe that's what I'll do actually. That'll be a little bit better for you to be able to see that. Okay, so my first CSS page. Here's your little paragraph. This is my first paragraph styled by CSS. How exciting. Another title. This is another paragraph for my page. There's a cool button, right? Another section. This is another section of my web page. I like to build web pages. Good. I'm glad you do, because I like to build web pages too. There, so you can see all my code as well. Cool. Pretty cool. Okay. Moving on, we'll go to the CSS. Alright, I did a quick pause. I went and changed a couple of things just real quick. First thing I'll show you, I took out this / on style.css. With the / it doesn't work. It doesn't pull up the CSS, but it does now. So, and then I changed the paragraph section. I just added a little bit more to it so we could get a little bit more and see. I've already thrown a CSS style in for that. I'll take that out real quick. So we've got our paragraph element. So these are elements, right? Each section here, your div, your H1, P, H2, those are elements. Your button element, your paragraph element, your H3 element. So those are elements. So to style, you can actually style entire elements, right? And I did a few different things. We're going to style the paragraph element. We're going to style the H1 element. So to style an element, all you do is you just type in the element, whatever the element is, the abbreviation for it, right? And then you do your curly brackets. You have to have an opening and a closing curly bracket. For this IDE that I use, the plugins that I've got, it closes those for me, which is really nice. I really like it. So yeah, anyway, so if we want, say we want the color of this element to be blue. Let's type in blue. So you've got your what it is you're changing, and then you've got what you're changing it to. In this case, it's the color of the H1 that we're changing, and we'll refresh the page. Hey, look, cool, we changed our color to blue. Super sweet, right? And our paragraph element, if we were to take that out of there, this is a comment, by the way, in CSS, very similar to comments in JavaScript and Java. I'll comment that out and refresh that, save it and refresh it, and then we lose our indent, our text indent, right? And so the thing that we're changing is the text indent. What we're changing it to is we're giving it an indentation of 30 pixels. So that indents our paragraph. So if we were to say we wanted more paragraphs, right? We add more paragraphs here. Save, refresh. Each one of those paragraphs is going to be indented now. For H2, let's make that a different color so we can see the difference there. Save that, refresh that. Now we've got a different color for H2 and H3. Let's do green for H3. That's cool. Save, refresh. Okay, Same thing goes with if we want to style our buttons, right? We can change the color of the button as well. Let's do something really interesting here. I like magenta is a fun color. And let's refresh that guy. That's the color of the font. Now if we want to change the actual color, let's do aqua here. That's fun too. Refresh, bam, submit. And then if I want to get rid of that ugly looking border, bam, no border. Or you can have a border. You can even change the color of the border and so forth. So lots of cool stuff you can do here. I'm just going to leave that border there. I don't care. Okay, so that's that. Now here's a thought, right? What if we don't want all of our paragraphs to be the same? What if we want each of our paragraphs to be different? So I'm going to put some classes in to have our paragraphs be different. We want the text indent to be the same on all paragraphs that we have, or at least I do. This is how I'm creating my website, so that's what I want. But I want say we want some other stuff to be different. So we're going to use classes to do that. Classes do need to start with a letter. Typically you use, like, if you're creating a class, you'll use camel case. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's pretty easy to understand once you look it up. So I'm going to create these three classes, first, second, and third, for my first paragraph, second paragraph, and third paragraph. If I wanted to, maybe I should type in third, not three. If I wanted to, I could type in paragraph and the first paragraph, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short and simple and sweet for us here. So back to our style.css. So we know how to change our element, but we need to learn how to change our classes. So to change our classes, first you're going to use a period to tell CSS that you are wanting to access that class, basically. So period first for the first class that we created. And then we're going to say we want to change the color to something really hard to read. We're going to change the color of that to pink. Now we want to do a second class. Change the color of that to, let's see, what have we got here? Let's do a blue violet. And just because I like things uniform, I'm going to do this. There we go. Okay, and then our third class. Again, with our opening and our closing bracket and our period to specify the class. Color, let's do a color of orange on this one. Haven't done that color yet. Okay, we're going to save. Now we're going to click refresh over here, and guess what? We have 3 different colors. So that's classes. If you have another thing you can use is ID. If you want to use ID, if you're going to use I'm not going to go into the reasons why you would use one over the other right now. I'm just showing you how to do this. So ID head page title. Let's do page title. There's some camel case for you. To specify an ID or to connect it to the ID, you're going to hit a pound or the number symbol, whatever everybody likes to call these days, the hashtag. And what did I say? That was head page title. Hold on, I got to remember. Page title. There we go. Page title. And let's change the font family. Let's change the font family of this page title. Let's do Lucida Sans. That one's fine. Okay, save it. Bam. Got our page title changed. So that's a real quick intro to CSS. You link your CSS sheet to your HTML using the link tag, link element. call it a style sheet, and href is where it's at basically, and it does need to. It's easiest if it's in the same folder. If you're just going to use the name of the file, it needs to be in the same folder that your HTML document, your index.html document is in. We created some stuff. I showed you how to do ID and class and how to access your elements. Your elements, you just type in the element. You got to have an opening bracket and a closing bracket. Your classes, you use a period to access those, period, and then the name of the class, opening bracket, closing bracket, and then whatever things you want to add in there. There's a whole lot more that we can do with CSS, but this is super basic and kind of the start of what you need to know. So thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, comment if you want some more content. Have a great day.